Welcome to the Silent Hill Ascension post show. I'm Noah and I'm here with the wonderful, lovely Tiffany Villalobos.
Hello, everyone. I'm super psyched to be here.
Oh my God, we're so psyched to have you here. So thank you so much for taking the time off your busy schedule. Appreciate it.
Thank you guys for having me.
And of course, Tiffany she was a voice director on the show, and also she voice acted. I almost called her Dr. Haugen, but that's one thing she didn't yet get to. But
maybe in the future.
maybe in the future. But yes, Detective Haugen. So, Tiffany, thank you so much for joining us tonight.
Yeah, no, like I said, I'm super excited to be here.
Have you seen it? So you got a glimpse of, we saw Other Brit again. And yes. I really love the Other Brit voice. By the way, I mentioned it before. I love how everybody did it.
Yeah, it was really fun working with Katie, who's the voice actress for Brit. It was really fun working with her in the booth. And we had to kind of work together to be like, okay, we have Brit and then we have Other Brit. What do we do to kind of differentiate it? So it was really fun, and it's really cool to see Other Brit finally out and live.
Right, because she was like just Brit for a while, and now we have a whole other Brit.
Yeah, and she's a bit crazed.
Right, she really is. But let's talk about you for a little bit. Can you present yourself for us in case anybody missed the intro?
Yes. So as Noah said, my name is Tiffany Villalobos. I was one of the voice directors on Silent Hill Ascension, as well as the associate producer for anything voice recording related. The voice actress for Detective Olivia Haugen. I also did some miscellaneous voices in there as well, which most people probably don't know, and they probably wouldn't be able to pinpoint which ones they were. But did that as well. I also have my own production company as well called All This TV. We focus on LGBTQIA+ content. I have a podcast called the Midnight Players Program. We basically cold read like the 40s and 50s radio plays. So if you guys like stuff like that, and it's got a little bit of everything. We do there's comedy, there's drama, there's horror, there's like Western stuff in there, there's mysteries. I'm also currently working on a few unannounced film projects. I'm partnering with Don Thacker, who's actually one of our other voice directors on Silent Hill Ascension. Also working on a film called Absolute Thunder with pro wrestler Nick Nemeth. So trying to stay busy, but, having fun while we do it.
You're quite the Renaissance woman. Thank you, Tiffany. So let's dive in a bit. You did mention that you talk about horror in the podcast as well, but are you a fan of the horror genre?
I love horror. Let me tell you. When I heard that we were doing Silent Hill Ascension, I was like, super, super excited. Horror is my number one go-to genre. Always has been, and I think it always will be.
I absolutely relate. I love when movies or shows make you feel something, and that feeling is fear. I just love that when that happens. I love the monsters of the Ascension, Silent Hill Ascension. We've been coming out with some really cool monsters here. I'd love to actually, would you like to see like a live action version of one of the monsters?
Oh, absolutely. I would really like to see the Immolator as like a live action one. That would be really cool to see.
That would be totally cool, and get the pyros out, make sure it's safe. We don't want to like Alec Baldwin it. I don't know.
No.
God forbid. No, this is a fiction. We only kill people in fiction. So can you tell us like a bit, in case like somebody doesn't know, what's the difference between being the voice director and the voice actor?
Oh gosh, that those are two completely different things. I think when it comes time to directing someone else in a booth, especially when you have like these many characters, because I don't know if people are aware of like how the process works, but you have a character in the booth recording alone. So they're not in there with like the other characters. So when we're recording, I have to make sure that I know the scenes, I know these characters, and I need to know the performance. And not just that, but I need to be able to give the actor a performance from like the opposite character. So if it's like a Brit and Astrid scene and we're recording with Astrid, I need to be able to give her performance as Brit for her to give a really good performance as Astrid. So there's that. It's a lot of work, but always fun. I loved working with everyone. All the voice actors on this project were great.
Right.
And,
what was it like working with the Norwegian talent? Because we had like actual Norwegians, believe it or not.
Yeah, they were. I really liked them. They were great to work with. It's a 9-hour time difference between LA and Norway. Tromsø, Norway, to be specific. That's where all of our Norway talent is from. So I'm up at like 6 a.m. and it's about 4 or 5 p.m. for them. And they were working until midnight sometimes in that booth. So I really hand it to them. They gave their all that late at night. To have that kind of energy was amazing. And going in as like not a director and just being like going in as a voice actor was also really great too. And that's also where Don Thacker comes in, our other voice director. I think he really helped with Haugen. You know what I mean? Like I can't direct and also do this at the same time. So it was really great having Don there and helping with that, because when you go in as a voice actor, you're focused on giving like 100% of your performance to your character, and it's great to focus on that.
Right, and you got like a pretty, I don't know, my ears are layman's ears, but to me it sounds like you really nailed the Norwegian, so I bet it helped working with the Norwegians to get the twang.
Yeah, it's, as you guys can probably tell, I'm not Norwegian. I don't have a Norwegian accent. That was definitely a challenge, but I think as an actor, those types of challenges are absolutely welcome. And Norwegian people were super, super helpful if I did not know a Norwegian word and didn't know the meaning and all that. So they were absolutely helpful.
That's awesome. So do you have any fun moments that you can recall from the booth? For instance, like when recording the Morgie. I mean, that was obviously fun to record. I think it was really fun because we also recorded for all the endurance scenes. And it was really fun doing that because you kind of just like let the actor do their own thing. You know what I mean? It's just like, we need a whole bunch of you screaming. Give me a whole bunch of different screams. So it was really fun seeing people kind of do their own thing and have their own interpretations of like, how's my character going to get through this? How would they sound? Yeah, sometimes I remember because I was like part of delivering the VO lines too. Sometimes it would be like jumping a long distance and jumping short distance. Not to be confused, they are very different.
Yeah, absolutely. It was like hop over something. Now hop from like this mountain to this mountain or something like that. And you're like, okay, I don't know if you've jumped from a mountain to a mountain, but by golly, you're going to try it right now.
And it was delivered perfectly.
Yeah, they did really great.
It was great. Well, since you have in-depth familiarity, because you were also one of the voice directors, do you have any personal favorite characters? Stirring up the pot here.
Yeah, right. Oh gosh, who's watching? I'm gonna say so obviously Haugen is like, I love Haugen, but aside from Haugen, I love Ingrid. that one, her character, it was just so fun because she always says the meanest things and she's crazy. And like that kind of stuff is just always really fun to record. And I also give props to Siri, who's the voice actress for Ingrid. She did a phenomenal job. She blew it out of the water. But it was always really fun recording her stuff, and she's just such a really fun character.
Yeah, Ingrid is really one of those ladies that really, they don't have anything nice to say, but they will say it anyway.
Yeah, right?
And they really do not have anything nice to say ever. But back to our beloved Olivia Haugen, which the ship name for her and Ingrid is Haugrid. By the way, the audience is extremely enthusiastic about the potential Haugrid in the future.
Yeah.
But so what was your first perception of Olivia?
Well, you know, when I first saw Olivia stuff, because we get like the character breakdowns and things like that, and you know these characters aren't fully developed at first. You know, you just have like this basic knowledge of who they are, and Olivia was a detective who had a vendetta against the Johansons, whose daughter had died. That was like really all I knew. So she went from being like this really, I mean, I don't want to say hard ass, but kind of. I mean, she was like cool and collected and things like that. And I feel like she had her vendetta against the Johansons, but she was like always there whenever they needed her, regardless. You know what I mean? It's like, and I think it was like also one of the lines too, is her saying like, I take the integrity of this job seriously. And I think she showed that in her character. And it's been great seeing her development. I love a good character development, especially when they're not super nice. Right. she wasn't super nice, especially in her in her very first scene. She didn't come across very nice. And you're like, heck no.
Well, no, but she's like a prickly pear, you know, like outside it's all prickly, but inside it's sweet and soft.
Right. Yeah. She and I think, you know, and as the audience has probably seen as
sorry. Shit happens.
Yeah, all the time. Tell me about it.
You know.
Boy, do I know. No. No, it's been, and as the audience can see, you know, she's grown a lot. We've seen her be like, again, like this cool, calm, collected detective who kind of didn't lose her job, but she's suspended, got drunk. So it was really fun doing drunk Haugen. To a bit crazed and unhinged, thinking her daughter may still be alive, to kind of accepting that she was in the wrong and like looking for peace and wanting to start over. And like I love that kind of development in characters.
Right. And I feel like the audience really reacts to that too. And by the way, I noticed how you said Johansson family with your like little Norwegian.
Yeah, Johanssons.
It was so good. Oh my God, I could hear that all day. Thank you so much for that. So any last message to the lovely audience? I see that they've been loving this. They really have great things to say, as do I. It's been really like a pleasure to work with you, for real. You're very talented.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. I had so much fun doing this, and everyone was really amazing to work with. And I don't know. It's a totally different experience when you have this much fun doing something. You know what I mean? It never really felt like work. You know, you do something you love, and it's not work.
Right. Do something you love and you won't work a day in your life.
There you go.
Well, so by the way, what do you feel about Haugrid? Are you team Haugrid?
I'm 100% team Haugrid. I heard that was like a very big like question, was like, how does she feel about it? I'm all on board for it. I love that you guys are shipping it. I hope the ship continues to sail on into the future. Yeah, no, I'm all on board. Again, I want to see, I don't think I've seen Haugen smile. And I would love to see Haugen smile at some point. And if Astrid brings on that smile, hey, more power to her.
But I feel like Haugen's smile is one that can melt icebergs. So it's a bit dangerous considering they're in Norway.
Yeah, right? Should be careful who she aims at smile at.
Careful there. But anyway, Tiffany, thank you so much again for being with us here tonight. Really, sincerely, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much.
No, thank you. Thanks for having me. This was a lot of fun. And I'm glad that people are not just embracing Haugen as a character, but embracing her change, her development, and Haugrid. Did I say that right?
Yes, I believe so. Okay. I'm not a linguist, but I am cunning at times. But well, Tiffany, if you don't mind, stick around with me and we'll go over some other stuff. We have more stuff coming here. So production, can you put up the information on where to follow our lovely guests? We also have Michael, last week's interview, who's none other than Eric, right? Sorry. we
had Toby.
Sorry. I had like a total brain melt. Anyway, so we have Michael, Toby, Ursu. That's his handle. And we have Tiffany's handle here for their Instagrams. So make sure you go ahead and follow them. Very, very talented and awesome people. So, production, can you pull up the dev updates graphic and we'll go over some cool updates we have for you. Production, if you can pull that up, we have a few updates to give you. We have been observing suspicious account creation. We've been noticing that. So we've introduced a new anti-cheat measure in account registration. So we'll keep an eye out and we'll appreciate audience members that will bring that up to us. So we will update on that as well, but we're really working on that. So the other update we have is if you have the latest build from iOS or Android, you will be getting an app rating prompt. So if you like the show, we truly appreciate it. If you rate the app, we would really, really love it. I want to show off to my mom. It helps. And we strive to deliver a really good show for you. So it's also an indicator for us to do better. So we strongly recommend that you update the app when you have a chance to, so that you can have the best possible experience, please. These are the updates. Sorry, there's one more. We also have, we are also working really hard on bug fixing. So the videos and emails that you've been sending us, they've been a really great help. So thank you so much. Please keep doing that. We have currently identified a bug with our Amazon video player and it causes a freeze. So thank you. We are aware of that issue and we're waiting on an answer from Amazon right now on that. Thank you so much for bringing that up to our attention. We really, really appreciate your feedback, audience, and we're really working harder to give you a really good show. So let's sum everything up here. We had a really exciting day today. We saw Other Brit again. We saw Orson being really spooky again. And we had our little convergence again. We saw Astrid and Rachel together. They're trying to figure out what caused the disappearance of the children. We're trying to get down to the bottom of this. Krista is inciting drama there. Brit struggling with their sobriety. We have a full house here. So thank you so much again, Tiffany. And I remind the audience you can follow Tiffany and Michael on their socials. That would be awesome. They're such great, awesome people. So stick around in the app for the puzzles, get those influence points. And production, can you pull up the next show graphic? And I'll take you guys through that. And then I will part with you for the weekend. But so we have on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, We have our pre-shows at 5:40 p.m. Pacific time. Then we have the show at 6 p.m. Pacific times on weekdays, and the post-show right after on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. So, Tiffany, thank you. You're the best. It's
Thank you.
at Tiffany Lobos, right?
Yes, at Tiffany Villalobos.
Amazing. So y'all make sure to follow Tiffany, and please have a really good weekend. Process all the trauma we've experienced here today, and let's face our new trauma again on Monday. Thank you so much. Have a good night.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.